Hello, welcome to Dungeon Rolls Podcast. I'm your host Justin. So today we're reviewing season two of Netflix's Dark, which is a German TV show from 2017. I don't know what year season two aired in, but yeah. So I finished season two, and boy, has this show it, Oi. So if people don't know, the show was created by what's his name, Baron Bo Order and Janice Fries. It stars Lewis Hoffman, Oliver Masucci, and Andreas Pitchman. And the show is basically a family drama that takes place during different time periods, and it's basically a time travel epic show. Which the first season was our character Jonas discovering that he's basically a a time traveler, and he gets trapped at the end of this. After the end of season one, he gets trapped in the future, right? And is trying to find his way back home, and he starts to discover the origins of Mundus, which were organization that of time travelers that created the passage underneath the caves of Winden, where the where the crack in time was formed from the power plant accident. And in this show, you find out basically who are the major players in this war to control time travel. Where like the different groups are Sigmundus, which is Noah and Adam. Adam being a man from the future. Uh, you also have what's her name, Claudia Tiedemann, which is the mother of Regina Tiedemann, who is the White Devil. What else is going on in the shows? You got like our basically in the present, everything gets revealed to all of our characters, but we also have new mysteries that get resolved through the end. Like also there's a character who a cop character called Clavis who joins the task force in trying to solve the missing persons, but he's there with a utilitative motive. He has some like old history that he's trying to uh, trying to like unrun discover basically. So yeah, the show it gets fucking crazy. It starts off a little slow, but it gets a little crazy near the end, where basically throughout the show there's a tick there's like a ticking clock between all three timelines, which if people don't know, there's three timelines, three time periods interconnected with each other: 1953, 1986, and 2019. And what ends up happening what ends up happening is that there's going to be well, I think it's actually we're in 2020 now in the show. Which what's supposed to happen is in 6 days there's supposed to be an apocalypse, and you have characters trying to trying to stop the apocalypse and survive while other things are going on in motion, right? There's this cool episode in the show where Jonas gets sent back in time by Adam to what he thinks is to stop his father from killing himself and saving everybody and stopping the apocalypse. But that doesn't necessarily happen. And that was a really cool episode because you basically got to see all of our characters back when things were normal, right? You also got to see you also got to see a lot of Michael Conwalt, which is the Mikkel Nielsen, who grew up in the 80s, right, and his interactions with his family, though there's not a lot of scenes with him interacting with his family, but that episode was very cool. Because you got to see, like I said, you got to see everything back when it's normal, and you got to see certain things first happen. Peter's Peter's affair with the tranny hooker Benny. You got to see Ulrich's first affair with what's her name? Fuck. Hannah. Who? What a bitch! She starts an affair on her husband the night he kills himself. It's like, you fucking bitch. And you have a common theme in the show is sacrifices that you gotta make to get to the end, which is this show. I think I compared it, like last season I compared it to Twin Peaks. This season I would have to compare it to Attack on Titan, because that's a show where characters make sacrifices to try to learn the truth about their world and to get, like, to find out epiphanies. Like the show is basically epiphany after epiphany, reveals and shit, and that the same thing happens here. But also you got a lot of cool scenes where, like, you got a lot of tearful reunions, like reunions with young Jonas and his dad, older Jonas, middle-aged Jonas with Hannah, not Hannah, his mother, and Martha, who, if you've seen the last season, Martha turns out to be his aunt. But they still have this thing together, which is there's like a scene where he has like a wet dream about his about his aunt Martha, who's like, who they had like a love, and they had like a fling going on in the summer, right when the night, actually it started the night his father killed himself. It's funny how a lot of things happened the night that his father killed himself, that there were basically three like flings going on in the night that his father killed himself, which, the show loves to have everything happen in threes, right? Also with 33, which is me and a subscriber had a conversation about 33 in our last review for season 1. Yeah, so I don't want to spoil too much in the show, but I would say the show, it's a very intellectual. The show doesn't have physical conflicts, but it has intellectual, like, conflicts. It's like an intellectuals action show, where which that, because it was funny. Like one review, and like Only God Forgives. Nicholas Winding Refn said like he wanted to make an action film, but like he found like physical, like not action film, like a fight film. But he personally finds physical confrontations boring, so he wanted to make a film with like a fight film, but with like intellectual conflicts. So this, I kind of didn't get what he was talking about, but like I would say this, while Only God Forgives fails at that, this TV show succeeds at that. But because this is a show about time travel, there was a lot of time travel stuff in this season that frankly did not make a lot of fucking sense to me. Like, if you ever seen the movie Predestination, which is based off Robert is it Hyland? The guy who wrote Starship Troopers wrote a short story called All You Zombies, which was the inspiration for the film with starring Ethan Hawke, Predestination, where there's like a certain time travel paradox in that movie that doesn't make a lot of fucking sense, and it's in this show as well. And it's just like, what the fuck, man. So I'm gonna have to go into spoilers. But if you don't want to, know the spoilers, I would have to say I would give this season 8.5. Would have given it a 9, but there's like a time travel paradox in this movie that doesn't fucking make sense. Sorry, TV show. So I'm gonna go into spoilers now. So it turns out part of one of the mysteries in this show, in this season, was also they retconned some shit. Like in the beginning of near the end of season 1, you get introduced to Agnes Nielsen, who's the grandmother of Ulrich Nielsen, and she said that it was implied in the last season that she was married to a abusive pastor, and it was implied that it was Noah. Here they retconned it that she wasn't married to Noah. Noah is her brother, and that Trante, who is the father of Ulrich Nielsen, is actually was adopted. So that they fucking changed some bullshit around, which I'm not a fan of that. But they also include a new mystery that on who Charlotte's parents are, and it's revealed that Charlotte's parents is where the show fucking jumped the shark, in my opinion, where it's revealed that Charlotte is the daughter of Noah, who was sent to the point of the apocalypse to survive the apocalypse, and Charlotte's mother is Elizabeth, who is Elizabeth, for people who don't remember, is the deaf daughter of Charlotte. So Charlotte is her own grandmother and granddaughter, which is like, holy fuck. I know the show had like a common theme with the bootstrap paradox, which is like, if people don't know the bootstrap paradox, it's basically when something's origin is influenced from its past. So it's like, if I went back to if I had, like, all of Nirvana's songs, right, and went back in time to meet Kurt Cobain, but I accidentally went back in time before he had a chance to write his own music, and gave the music to him, so to make sure that he wrote the music, right? Performed the music in the first place. So it's basically when something's origin is either has no real origin point, or it's like, fuck. That's the thing with the bootstrap paradox. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's basically when something origin doesn't have a real origin, and it was created by, it already exists in the future, but it got sent back to the past to influence its own creation, right? That's basically the bootstrap paradox. But like, how the fuck can somebody be their own grandmother and their own granddaughter at the same fucking time? How can somebody give birth to a child that later on will become their own mother, right? It makes no sense. Which it's implied that, like, Charlotte was sent back to the past because in the future they didn't have she was really frail. She was born prematurely, so they didn't really have the technology to save her in the future, because it's a post-apocalypse. So they sent her back in time, and she was, I guess, raised in like the 70s or whatever, in the 80s. So yeah, so it just, the Charlotte's origin story makes no fucking sense, man. And sorry for spoiling Predestination, but if you haven't seen Predestination, it's a really cool movie, but it also has like school shooter vibes. So if you're not a fan of school shooter films, I don't recommend Predestination. The Predestination is fucking funny, because not only do you have the whole thing where the character is his own parents, whatever. But he's like most of the movie. There's like a subplot where he's trying to stop this bomber who's killing people, and it turns out he was the bomber, but a future version of him. Which all the show also has themes of like who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. It's not certain because like the Adam and Noah's group think they're the good guys, but like you have like Claudia and the people like the younger versions of Adam. Which spoiler alert, I'm not gonna reveal Adam's who Adam is, but basically it's somebody from 2019. I'll say that much. But yeah, I wouldn't look into it because yeah, though it's kind of when it does happen, it's kind of obvious, and it makes sense. Okay, why Noah wouldn't kill Adam? Sorry, Noah wouldn't kill Jonas back in the past because okay. Oh, I just spoiled it. God, cocksucker. But we're in the spoiler section, so yeah, I gotta remember what time code was the spoiler section.